Promise. Welcome to Loan Officer Success Live, sponsored by Premier Lending, the show where the mortgage industry's top players pull back the curtain. Your host, Devin Dubuque, sits down with industry leaders, top producers, and game-changing mortgage tech innovators, all sharing their unfiltered strategies, bold ideas, and proven secrets for success. Get ready to take notes, think bigger, and play to win, because this is Loan Officer Success Live. Let's do it. Let's go. We are here to win big. We got Win Big Melissa Jimenez from out there in the sunny state of California, and Jessica Holloway from Premier Lending. Welcome to the show. So good to have you guys here.
Thank you, Devin.
Thank you, Devin. Happy Friday, everybody. I mean, I know in our industry, we don't technically get a Friday, but happy Friday.
Happy Friday indeed. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The industry that never sleeps. Everybody says Vegas, right? But it's not. It's real estate is the industry that never sleeps. There's deals happening at all times of the day and night, anywhere in the United States and probably other countries too, right? I'm pretty sure this isn't just us.
5 o'clock somewhere.
That's it. 100%. Well, I am super glad to have you on the show. You know, we had a great, green room interview a couple of days ago, and you were telling me a little bit about your story. And, I think it's always good to get out there and kind of share with the world as to what's going on. You know, one of the things I think we titled this, they told her no or something. And, she did it anyways. You know, it's something epic, right? But, at the end of the day, you didn't wait for permission. And I think that's, such a great thing to build upon because you are in an industry where sometimes the door gets closed in your face often, and people do have doubt about what your opportunity is. And it's about how you take that and rise up and move forward. And that's exactly what you've done. So kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get to know you before, the recognition, before people were recognizing you for who you are today and the things that you're doing. Who was Melissa before?
Oh, gosh. Melissa was just a young lady who really wanted to do things in life. And I didn't know exactly what that was, but I knew at a young age that I wanted to always have more.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about like money, more and more things. It was, I wanted to always help. I wanted to be guiding. But I was also very shy. And people don't believe that when they meet me. They're like, excuse me, you shy? Right. Yes, very shy. But I always remember I was the one who, when it really came time, I spoke up. For example, I remember in grade school just having a neighbor, and he would be picked on and bullied.
Yeah.
And I just remember knowing that's not okay.
Yeah.
And I remember always thinking, gosh, am I going to now get picked on for standing up? But it was like I always had to do the right thing. That was so important to me. And even though I was shy and I was quiet, those were the moments where it was like that light turned on. And I'm like, no, this is not okay. And I'm going to make sure people know it's not okay. So, and then I would go into my quiet corner again, but I think that's where a lot of this stemmed from, is just
where do you think the fire came from though, right? Like there had to be something, was it just the trigger inside your, you knew, or where did the fire come from? We're like, no, this isn't going to be tolerated. We're not going to bully people here. Like this isn't okay.
The funny thing, it was just always a feeling. It was always just this feeling of it's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that fire that it would lit, and I would feel it, that I would have to be the one, because I knew other people wouldn't be that one.
Yeah.
And no matter what that repercussion or consequence was, I was always just willing to take it, because it was just like a reflex. Like, if something's coming at you, see those people like at baseball games who are like, whoa, and they catch the ball.
They turn into a ninja all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, man, where did those ninja skills come from? It's like parents, when their kids are falling or something's happening, and it's just that split second, that they just, it's like, how did that happen? I find myself, that's me. And that was me. And
Got
it
it.
just turned into more as years went on of saying, there is always more.
Yeah.
There's always that split second that you could change your life or change what's happening or be the change. But
Amen.
that split second makes the difference between actually doing it or regretting it or regret not
Mm,
doing something. It's the same with business, right? It's sometimes it's yes, over years, right? We're building businesses or we're building
that's right.
whatever it is, our empires. But sometimes there's those opportunities.
Yeah.
And you said golden nuggets when we were talking first, and it really tickled me because that's something I use quite frequently. So to hear someone else really say it in normal everyday chat was
Right.
I'm like, oh, I love golden nuggets. But you can utilize those golden, it doesn't have to be physical, right? It doesn't have to be picking something up. It's that split second of do I or do I not that can change what you're doing, your trajectory, your life.
I agree with you. And, think about that too. I mean, I want you to really think about that, because how many times did we walk away from something going, man, I should have done this, right? I should have done this. And then what would that have looked like? And where would that have taken me? And, we all do it. Every one of us do. Right. And, I think
Absolutely.
that's what I love about this is that, you've really adapted that ability to take that moment and go, no, I am going to do it. And I'm going to make a change, and I am going to stand up. And here you are as a result of that.
Yeah.
And that's,
Yeah.
it's such a powerful thing, right? It's such a powerful thing. So let's flash forward. So
Absolutely.
now we go from we're a young kid and we're developing these skills that have transitioned into our adult life, right? At what point in time did we decide, man, real estate? That's it. I'm going to be a realtor, right? Was this the lifelong dream in the childhood? You're like in that split second, and I'm going to go sell realty and help others, right? Was that where it came from, or how'd that work?
Well, it was two different parts to that. The quick part is I always did want to help people. I mean, when I was young, I would always say, I want to be an attorney because I want to help people. And I was always saying, I don't know what type of attorney, but I really wanted to be an attorney. But then flash forward, someone gave me an opportunity in my life, and I will never forget. And I shout out to Sarah Bell.
Okay.
I was a young lady who just didn't know what to do in life. I know I wanted to, again, do big things, and I needed to find a place to go. My parents had split. I was living with my sister, which worked out terribly. And I wanted my own place. And I knew in my heart, I had that fire. I could do it.
Yeah.
But every time I went into somewhere, it was like, you can't afford it. You don't make enough money. You have to make 3 times the rent.
Ouch.
And one day I went in and I just happened to talk to someone and I cried. All that fire just kind of was like, it was like put out, and I was crying, and she told me no. And then she came around the desk and essentially said, there's something about you. I want to help you. And through our conversations, she says, I want to offer you a job in property management.
Okay.
And that changed my life. I became a property manager at a very young age. So I started in leasing and sales, and it was great. I loved it. And because of those sales, I was able to qualify for the apartment. So I had my own place. It was wonderful. She gave me the opportunity of a lifetime and just kind of going through the ranks there. But again, being a young manager was difficult, in a sea of seasoned people. I really was against all the odds. I mean, anything you could think of, again, bullying, everything, I dealt with it. And that's where the continued fire came. And at one time, it, like everything in this world, it became very technology oriented. And it wasn't the, hey, manager, we love you. Let me give you some cookies and, sit with you and visit. It was, something happened and you're not fixing it. And I put the request online, and I was just another face in the office. And it broke my heart because I remember watching people go through weddings and kids and sometimes sadder things, death, divorce, and just being able to be the one there for them. So technology changed that for me, but I still had that passion for wanting to be connected to people and be able to help.
Right.
So I had a temporary switch. I left property management because of that, and I went into flooring. And that right there reignited my fire and my passion for doing something different. Right. And But that actually also winded up being a bigger chip on my shoulder. It was a very male dominated industry. So, and I remember really trying to always have to, or feeling as though I always have to prove myself.
Yeah.
And, after a couple years, I remember the owner saying to me, Melissa, you actually really fit in well. You're just like one of the boys, one of the guys out there. And I love that about you. And I remember going, okay, so is that good or is that bad? The first reaction was
a backhanded compliment.
I was confused at the moment. I'm like, I don't understand that. But I remember that igniting a fire in me, because first of all, I'm like, well, when you hired me, wasn't that why you hired me? Because you thought I was a great match and I could stand firm? There was just so many thoughts. And that was when I decided, I still want to help people, but I really want to do it on my terms. And technology is great and we love it, right? AI, all these big, huge changes,
right?
But it does not replace that human personal factor.
Yeah.
And that's why I love what I do, even not only my clients, but my teammates, partners. I get to have that human factor. I get to be me. And I love that about what we do.
Well, I'll tell you what I love. I hate it. I hate that the backhanded comments have to be made, right? And at the end of the day, kudos for you for getting out of that organization and moving on and doing what's right for you. But it also brings up, one of the things that we talked about the other day, and that's that a lot of people that really push to another level, right? The ones that do the things that you're doing, that do the extraordinary things that other people won't. What we found is that it's because of one of two things: is they either have a chip or they have no other choice, right? So there's either a chip on the shoulder, something that's happened, something that's triggered them at some point in time that says, I'm going to prove you wrong, right? Or it's the alternative. They have no other choice, because if they don't do the things that they need to do to build that success, there's failure, and they're not going to accept failure as an option because they have no other choice, right? And a lot of times that could be, taking care of family or kids. And I think based upon what we talk about is, you're started with a choice, right? It was, I have no other choice. I don't want to keep living this way. I'm going to get better. And you transition into, your first opportunity. But then it kind of transitioned into a chip, which was
yes,
hey,
a chip that happened to get bigger from time to time.
But that's a beautiful thing, right? Because your passions now you get to pour into not just your personal self, but you get to pour it into the people that you help and serve. And one of the things that I know about you, Melissa, is you're not just helping and serving your clients. You've really turned that rejection into mentorship, right?
Yes.
How did that show up in your life?
When I started in this industry, I remember it stemmed from really my first deal. I remember getting that first deal and being absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
And thinking, I've been through so many things in my, property management world, but this is a whole different situation where not only am I just helping them and guiding them, right?
Yeah.
They're investing hundreds of thousands of dollars in me, if you really think about it, right? You're the one that I choose to get me to the finish line. And when you see those price tags, first of all, that's kind of like it hits you. But not only that, it's looking at them and seeing it in their faces and their eyes, no matter what that situation is. Yeah. Because in real estate, of course, it's the same thing with property management. I always look back and go, okay, I had already dealt with death, divorce, wedding, children, so many different things.
That's right.
But I remember the first deal, and it was a short sale. And I had no idea how to handle a short sale. So it was a tough road. And I remember, calling my broker one day, and I didn't get something back for 3 days. And I remember thinking, I don't want that to happen to me ever again. But not only that, over time, I thought, I never want that to happen to another agent. To not be able to have somebody
Amen.
help them and walk them through something. And sometimes it's as simple as, okay, you may know this, but let's walk through it. Let's stop. Let's walk through it.
That's right.
What's next? What are you challenged with just at this very moment? And let's keep walking through it slowly. So, and I remember a girlfriend getting into the industry, and I thought so highly of her. She was a fellow property manager. So just sharp. I remember kind of being in awe of her when she walked in a room.
Right.
It was like she stood up a little straighter. Her makeup was always perfect. And her saying, I'm going to become a full-time realtor. Can you help me? And I was so tickled pink. I thought, me? I remember looking at her and just being such in awe, and, that room would light up, and wow. So that was just huge for me. And that was, again, another aha moment for me, saying, I need to be the one that helps regardless. I always tell people, of course, go to your brokers for, guidance. However, sometimes it's not always just, hey, tell me how to fill out this contract. Sometimes it's, I'm taking on this tough energy. How do I get through this?
Right.
So that was important to me. And I really love every moment of being able to help people and say, if I did it, you can do it. And we'll get through this together.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
100%.
Well, where did you guys come together, Jessica? Like, we got to get you in the conversation. You're down there being all quiet.
Yes. We see you,
Blend
Jessica.
in. You
We
gotta talk.
see you.
I'm right here. Well, actually, Melissa is super invested in the community. We live here in Tracy, California, part of what's called the Central Valley. And we met at the realtors meeting that happens every Thursday this week. So
very cool.
That's
so yesterday.
Yeah.
You guys met yesterday? Is that
Instant friends, instant friends.
Wow, you guys work fast.
So it's been years. I want to say 2018, 2019, I was diving into the community, trying to build my business. And going to that meeting is one of the first steps to really get to see who is local and who's doing what.
I love it. I love it.
Right.
So, well, that's great because, you're out there and staying public and meeting people, and then you get to bump into each other and meet amazing people, right? Like Melissa.
Oh my gosh.
And, here we are on the podcast. So I love it.
Yeah. Thank you, Jessica. It's
and I
been
wanted
great.
to add, you're welcome. Well, I wanted to add because when I started this industry because someone lent out their hands and said, hey, let me introduce you into this.
Absolutely.
Let me guide you. I think you could do a great job. And so, there's those opportunities that happen. And I've always been like Melissa, you take the opportunity, you see what's there.
Right. Right.
Well,
Absolutely.
I love that. Well, and I love the fact that, there are people out there that are mentoring others and helping others support them to get where they want to be. One of the questions I want to ask you, we go back to when you were, before you were who you are today. And I don't think you felt invisible, but, there are some people that do feel invisible, right? And when we're on a road to helping others, and I think that's a lot of what I want to cover today, right? Because we know you do real estate and you do it really well. And we know, that, you serve your consumers and you serve them very well. But, there may be somebody listening into this program today and just going, how do I know when to take a stance? Like, how do I know when to say enough's enough? What would you say to the woman who's doing all the right things right now, or it feels like they are, but they still feel invisible?
Make yourself uninvisible. Look, in this industry, I tell people, no one's going to do the hard work for you.
Yeah.
And in anything that we do, there's always going to be challenges. And there's always going to be naysayers as well.
Right.
And what you need to do is shine in your own way.
Yeah.
And figure out, how does this make me feel? It's all about how you feel and what you do. There's people always say, gosh, you spend so much time volunteering. When do you get time to do your own work? And volunteering helps me. It actually helps me to remember why I do this. And I can make a difference, and I can change something, even if it's very little. Someone once said to me, and I might botch this just a little bit.
It's okay. It's okay. No judgment here.
I used it out recently, and it was, if you want to see change, be the change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with our personal lives, right?
Yeah.
If we want to see change, we have to be that change, even if it's difficult.
That's right.
That's the thing, is sometimes we feel like, oh, it's too difficult, I don't want to do that. Even having difficult conversations.
Yeah.
But if you don't do it, you won't see change.
Amen.
So if this is something that you want to do, step forward. And, people say, oh, well, maybe I'm just not that good at it. No, you are, because you put the passion, the determination, you passed the test.
That's right.
Now, get out of that shell. You're not a turtle. Get out of the shell and shine. Now, you may shine differently than someone else, just because someone gets out there and they love door knocking, for example, and they could shine knocking at that door and telling you how great they are. That may not be for you, but how many agents shine on social media, as a community advocate, and really all they do is part of the community, but that's where they shine. Find your shine, and your shine doesn't have to be what everyone else's shine is. It's like, they see real estate as this checklist of things to do. Yes, there's a contract. You have to do a contract. You have to know it. You have to fill it out, and it has to be right.
That's it.
But as far as you getting out there, everyone's shine is different. So just do it. And if it feels good and you're passionate, it's going to be good.
Amen to that.
That's how it works.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, I want to go back to, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jessica.
Oh, no, I was saying so true. So true.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go back to something you're talking about. Some people, they struggle with, because they go, man, that's hard and I can't do that. Right. And there's two different things that I'm going to tackle on that. Number one, it's hard until it isn't. Right. It's hard until it isn't, because when you do something continuously over time, you get better at it, and eventually it becomes just second nature. Right. But another thing that I like to talk about is the choose your hard. Right. Because there's two different types of hard every day that you wake up and you have a choice to make. Right. And one of those hards is struggling, right? You can struggle financially, emotionally, physically, whatever the case may be, right? And you get to make that decision, right? Do you want to continue to struggle in that, right? And then there's the other side of it, is it's hard to actually change and make the success happen, right? And which one of those hards do you want to choose? So every day that you wake up, you get to make that choice. And some people, it's not that easy. It is that easy, right? And it's like, but you don't have my situation. You're not in my position. You're not me. That doesn't matter, because we can all change. And let me tell you something, and some people don't realize this, and it's hard for them to let go of this. Sometimes it's letting go of a family member that's holding you back, and not having that communication, because you got to set boundaries, right? And that's a hard one to talk about, because that's family. Sometimes it's a friend that you've had for a long time, and you've got to let that person go so that you can shed that weight and become the better person, the better version of you that you want to become. And, I can speak from that personally, because I've done those things, right? Like, I'll go backwards, Melissa, and I'll even talk about my personal experiences, and I'd love to hear yours. I struggled with alcoholism years ago, right? And I just made a choice one day, and I said, enough's enough. I'm not doing this anymore, right? This is not going to be who I am. I'm going to be a better husband, a better father, a better, mentor to the people that I serve. And I just stopped, right? And that may not be somebody else's demon. That was my demon, right? And that's something that I had to do. And some people, it's super hard. You just can't stop. I don't have a problem with it at all. In fact, I stopped cold turkey, and I've never looked backwards, and I don't want to look backwards, because that person is in the background. They're not who I am anymore. So when I say that you can make big, hard changes, that's not even talking about what we've done in work, but I'd like to hear yours, right? Like, what are the hards that you've had to change, right, to become the person that you are today?
Well, first of all, I want to give you so many kudos and huge blessings to you for continuing to stay on the path that you needed to get on. So first of all, it's funny that you asked this, because just about 2 weeks ago, I was having our monthly meeting, and there was, challenges being brought up and people saying, well, this person, this, or that person, that. And I had to get really raw with my team. And I said, guys, You really want to hear it? I will break it down. And I broke down so many challenges I've had while I've been in the real estate.
Yeah.
Very, very personal stuff.
Yeah.
And I think I may have gotten a little sweaty under the eye, a little bit. But they said, wow, Melissa, we really didn't know that about you. And it's amazing to see where you're at today. And it's hard. I know you're asking me what kind of got there. I have so many. I don't know that I can pick just one.
It's okay.
But when I tell you they're deep, they're pretty deep. Yeah. And I just had told myself, I had to tell myself each and every time, yes, it's okay to let it out, but you have to find ways to move past it. Life doesn't end. Yeah. Life did not kill me.
But did you die?
I choose, right. I chose for it to make me stronger. That was my choice. It was my decision. Right. And so I had to really move through all of that. And I remember, though, another funny story from that is that when I was going through one of those times, I was at the Tracy marketing meeting one day, and there was another lender that I don't see quite often. And he's always such a ball of like energy and smiles. And he's like, Melissa, how are you? And I literally, it was hard enough to get myself up that morning and just get there.
Yeah.
And again, I just literally started, I was like, I couldn't even say hello. I started crying.
Yeah.
And he went, oh my gosh, what's going on? And he says, wait, just let's go to the side. And he's like, what's going on? And I said, your beautiful smile and welcome, but I can't match that energy. I'm not there today. And so we had a conversation about things that were going on, and it kind of came out. But I will tell you, I felt a lot better. And I feel like out of that, I have such a lifelong friend.
Yeah.
Because he was so kind and so gentle in that moment and told me, it's okay. You're going to get through this, because I was just showing up. Even the hard days, I would wake up, I'd wipe my eyes clean, and I would show up. And I had to tell myself, I'm showing up for me. It doesn't matter what this person, that person is thinking or seeing. I'm showing up because this is important for me. It's important for me to stay grounded, stay in my everyday, because there are times where you kind of step back and you put yourself in that rabbit hole. That's another one of my favorite things to say is, I'm going down the rabbit hole today. Who's coming with me?
Let's go.
Yeah. Like, because we can always stand on each other's shoulders to get out, right? So yeah. I have a rabbit hole, and so I haven't named it yet, but I have a rabbit hole. We'll see. There you go.
I'll be the Mad Hatter. And Jessica, who do you want to be? Are you the Cheshire Cat?
I
knew it. I got you, girl.
And let me tell you, see, there's lots of Queen of Hearts out there. So you've got to be surrounded by these, Mad Hatters and other cats, or whatever there else, because you just don't know. And if you surround yourself with the right people, the right energies, I believe everybody can really accomplish anything. You just have to, like you said earlier, choose your hard. Choose your hard and always show up for yourself. This is a very singular business. I'm not going to say lonely, because some people have said lonely. It's a very singular business because yes, you have brokers and you have teams, but that you don't work together. Your deals are your deals. You have to show up for your clients. And so really, you may have, your lender who you love and your escrow officer who you love, and they're helping you at that moment and kind of get through it. However, after that, it disseminates and you are back to just you. So it is really important to fill our own cups. It really is, and whatever that looks like. But we can't forget about why we're here in the first place. Some people fill their cup a little too much with
It's okay.
Things they probably shouldn't continue to fill
Well,
it
I
with,
used to do
but-
that.
I'm glad
I
that
had
you
your
can laugh
cup
about
and her
it.
cup
That's
and my cup and
right,
you know.
right? Exactly.
But
So-
no, you know, I think that's important though. You gotta be able to get stronger. You know, one of the questions I want to ask you is, I know we're getting close to wrap up time. So what's on the table that you're building now, and who is it for?
So I guess this would be the time. So one of the things that I've really been working on is, and it's kind of been a theme for me over many, many years is, so you're making me sweat over here, Devin, now. Making me talk about things. You know, gosh, I'm working on really, I'm focused on mentorship.
Yeah.
That is my passion. You know, I don't say coach, I don't say education, I say mentorship, because there's so many times in my life where I have one great mentor, and shout out to Rick Corbello. He was an amazing mentor, and still, you know, occasionally we connect, but I'll never forget when I told him, this is what I'm going to do. I'm really going to pursue real estate to the highest levels. We had a coffee date, and he says, you have your notebook. You always carry a notebook. And I said, absolutely. I have my notebook. I always do. And he says, okay, let me have it. And he draws in it. He draws me, and I still have it. And it was a garden. And he put little seeds, and he put a flower. And he said, remember, you always have to plant these seeds to get that beautiful flower. But don't forget, you have to continue to plant the seeds. Yep. Some of those won't regrow. Just continue planting your seeds. It has stuck with me since day one. And that's a lot of what I tell other agents is, it's like a farm. Yeah, well, you have a farm, right? In real estate, they say have your farm, but it's like farming, excuse me, where I tell them, you have to go out there and you have to plant those seeds. Yep. And then those seeds will grow. But don't forget, then you have to tend the soil and replant. That's or else you won't get another garden. You won't get another crop. Yeah. You know,
I talk about that. I do. I talk about, it's funny. We have a lot in common, Melissa. You know, I talk about that all the time. And I talk to the team about, and you see, maybe you can see it behind me. You might not be able to, but there's a John Deere tractor back there. I'm from Kansas originally. So the farming thing, it really gets, you know, that's why that's back there, by the way. You know, there's a sunflower, all those things have to do with where I'm from. But I always talk about the fact that, you know, we can't plant the seeds and walk out the next day and go, where's my crops, right? You can't do that, right? And more importantly, if we go back and we talk about what a farmer really does, they're up at the crack of dawn. They're up at 4 o'clock in the morning, right? Absolutely. And they maybe come in for a lunch, but they're out on those fields until dusk, right? So from dusk to dawn, right? They're there the whole time. And so effectively, you know, what does that mean? Well, that means that they're working really hard to harvest those crops. And if we're not willing to go out there and put that type of effort in, how do we expect that bountiful harvest that's to come? So, but I'm going to add an element to that because of you. I've never talked about the fact that we have to go back out and till the soil and then replant once that first harvest is grown. And I do love that analogy, right? Because that's what this industry truly is. You know, we're consistently planting seeds and we're nurturing those seeds and we're growing them into a harvest. But when that harvest is done, we've got to, you know, we've got to plant a new one. And
it's also going. Adding to that, what about trying a different crop?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, and thank you for asking me that, because for me, it's like, I was like, I need something else. I need something else to continue to fuel that fire. And that's where the mentorship is really where I landed. And I thought that's something I want to keep focused on and pursue. And I'm working that, as well as really staying loyal and close to my clients. You know, mentorship is really important. And I think that is a need that is not out there right now. So I'm focused on filling that need.
You and me both. I love that. You know, and I'll tell you why. And I think you're probably the same way. Reasoning is, for me, I can only do so much for the people that I can serve, you know, as a direct client. But if I can help others, you know, figure out the why, the how, and to get to that point where they can serve more people and they can do it more efficiently, effectively, I'm actually serving more people. I'm helping more people. And that to me is what drives it all home, because, it's one to many, one to few or one to many. And I want to be one to many, right? I want to be a part of, and by the way, and then it's not just the lives of the people that they serve that you've helped, but it's those people as well. So there's so many people in that reach, exactly, that they get helped. Well, I'm going to ask you one more, and then we'll do a quick sign off. But if your younger self could hear this episode, what would you want her to take away from it?
Don't dull your shine, honey. Don't dull your shine, and you will not be shy forever. Get out there, and you will not be taking those same people with you. So don't even worry about them.
That's
those
really
people
strong.
aren't coming on your path. They're not on your train. Yeah. Let them have their own train.
Well, there's bigger
Just
rooms.
make yours a bullet train. There you go. Instead of a freight train, dump the freight train. I got the bullet train.
I love it. Well, that's how you get there faster, And at the end of the day, this is one thing I always like to talk about, is if you're not scaling up in the room of people that you're in, then you're in the wrong room, and you're going to have to shed that skin and get in the right room. And that right room may change multiple times over your lifetime, 100%. And that's okay. And we're going to learn from it. It doesn't mean that we leave everybody behind. It just means that if we really want to become what we have the potential to become, it's going to be a series of rooms with a series of mentors, and the mentors are going to be the mentors until they're the peers. And then you're going to find new mentors, and you're going to continue to level up.
Absolutely.
And that's what life's all about.
Yeah. I always say there's room on my train always. There's always going to be room, whether it's, that bullet train has open tickets.
Exactly. I love it. I love
that.
Love it. Let's take that bullet train home. All right, guys. Well, if you're looking for Melissa, and I think you should, go check her out on Instagram at melissajimenez.realtor. That's going to be on Instagram. And then if you want to find her at her website, it's melissajimenezrealtor.com. So she makes it very, very, very easy for you. And she's serving Tracy, California, and all the surrounding areas. I'm pretty sure she can do business all over California, but I think you probably specialize in that local market to provide great service. Am I correct on that?
Yes, and you're absolutely right. I have helped so many people, so many different places, because I just dig in deep and I find the answers for people. And I love that. I love that I'm able to gain people's trust. So that's very important to me.
I love it. All right. Well, and we can't forget about Jessica down there. Yes. Jessica, you know what? In fact, I think we need to get rid of me. There you go. Jessica, we're going to bring you up to the top so everybody sees you front and center.
Awesome.
And Jessica,
you guys.
You're in lending. You're in California, right? What all are you just California? Do you serve any other areas?
All of California, but like Melissa, we're here in the Central Valley. But part of the beauty of it is that people come from all over the Bay Area, and we're able to help everybody in the Bay Area and all of California. So we have the best of California, all of it.
Well, what a great state. Yeah, what a great state. That's actually, one of my favorite places to travel is we like to go out and just go to the desert outside of Joshua Tree, and it's just my wife and I, and we'll go to the desert, no kids, no phones, no nothing, and just veg out and zone out. The ocean's beautiful too, but there's something about being out there in the middle of nowhere and just taking it all in. So
we need that time, don't we?
Yes.
That's how we do all the things that we do. If you don't take, by the way, let's end with that note, right? Like get out there and be passionate about the things that you do, but make sure you take time for yourself, because if you don't recharge, you might lose some of that drive and momentum. So we've got to make sure that we take time for ourselves too.
Take your brain breaks, people. Brain breaks.
Yeah. Yes.
Amen.
Self-care, take time, but hustle.
I love it, guys. Well, thank you so much, Melissa, Jessica. I appreciate you guys both for being on the show. And I think we're already a little bit over, so we're going to wrap it today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you on the next one. You've been watching Loan Officer Success Live, where real strategies meet real success. Don't forget to subscribe now and share it with your teammates, and keep leveling up, because your next breakthrough starts here. If this fired you up, don't just watch success, go out there and build